Hello everybody. Happy back day. Went to the range yesterday, had a good time, except that my Glock is broken. The striker firing pin assembly or something in that vein is busted. And I don't know what specifically it is, but something about it is malfunctioning. And we did some testing while we were there and some whatnot. And I can confirm without bias, without beyond a reasonable shadow of a doubt, that it has to do with something in the firing or in the striker assembly group. Whether it's the firing pin safety, the plunger, the channel guide, the firing pin itself, the firing pin spring, I don't know. But it's something in there that is preventing it from functioning properly. It's failure to fire is the issue. I was getting tons of failures to fire. So, not great, but hopefully I can get the parts warranted, or I'll just get a new one. It's new parts, rather. Who knows? We'll figure it out as we go. Anyway. Today is back. It's my favorite. Just going to get in there, hammer it, get out. I'm going to do machine rows, because we're going to the south side, and that machine row, or row machine, is unrivaled. I love that thing. The plate loaded version, it's just great. The hammer strength plate loaded chest supported row, it's so good. It just tears you up, like your back is just tore up afterwards. I love that. So hit that. Actually, I think we start with rack pulls, in fact. Yeah, we do. We start with rack pulls, then we'll hit the chest supported row. Then we hit, oh man, I'm never going to get across this intersection. Too many cars. Then we hit chest supported row. And then I'm just going to turn right. I ain't got time for all this jazz. It's 3 school buses. I'm not waiting for that. But we do that. Then our low rows, shrugs, lat pull downs, and then pull overs. I think that's everything. I believe. Ugh. Goodness. But yeah, the rack pulls, we are gonna up the weight a skosh, not significantly. Maybe 5 pounds from last week, 5 or 10 pounds. Who knows? But it's not gonna be like a huge increase. Now, the 405 we did last week was pretty light, I won't lie to you, but I don't think it was light enough for me to be all like, yeah, we're just gonna jump into 450 or something like that, maybe like 415 or 410. I mean 410 is only a 5-pound jump, so probably like 415, because I want to push myself a little bit. So I think that's what we're gonna do. 415. 2 sets of 8 on that. And then once you get through that, the rest of the workout's easy peasy, The reason back day was my favorite when I was on prep is because it was like the easiest day, in that there wasn't anything that like really sucked. There was nothing that was like, oh, this is so hard. It's so difficult. With the addition of the re-addition, I should say, of rack pulls, that's not necessarily the case anymore. There is one exceptionally hard exercise, but it's a good mass builder. I honestly think rack pulls are underrated. I think they get a bad rap as an ego lift, and I think they get a bad rap as less effective than deadlifts, but I don't think that's necessarily fair. I think the injury potential is lower than deadlifts. And if you set it also depends on where you set the rack. Like if you set it at the correct height, which is, pretty much about as low as you are comfortable going, and then one notch lower than that. So I set it so that the bar is on or under my kneecaps. Now, ideally, you would want to set it like the lowest notch on the rack. So basically like a 6-inch handicap deadlift, more or less. But I set it below the kneecaps. It's a bit easier, and then I can focus on back, because the first, foot or so of deadlifting is kind of a lot of like lower like hamstring and glute and hips and erectors, and I just kind of want to focus on the upper portion of it, which targets the lower lats, still your erectors, of course. Like your lower back is always going to be involved in this sort of a lift, but I want to focus more on the lower lats, the mid lats, really, and just kind of get what I can out of it in terms of stimulation and growth. And I do think that they're an underrated exercise, especially if you have a weak lower chain. If your lower back, if you don't have that like good Christmas tree shape or proportion, and you're looking for that in your physique, I really, hit some deadlifts, hit some rack pulls. If you're struggling on deadlifts and you've plateaued, or you're just like, man, I'm really bad at deadlifts, I can't get the form right, I'm worried about hurting myself, I can't go super heavy, I'm weak. Once again, the car smells like paint, like it just reeks of paint. It's kind of freaking me out, but like spray paint. But where was I? Yeah, rack pulls. It correlates pretty much 1-to-1, your rack pull progress versus your deadlift progress, because it's the exact same motion. It's just one is handicapped a little bit to give you a little bit of an advantage. And for those that say that rack pulls are an ego lift and they're not functional, I will concur to some degree that deadlifts and rack pulls themselves are kind of an ego lift in essence, but they don't have to be. And rack pulls, I think, when done correctly, are less so of an ego lift than a deadlift. Now, if you're just setting the rack up so that you only pull it 6 inches and you're loading 1,000 pounds on there, yeah, that's definitely a deadlift, or definitely an ego lift. Like all you're doing is making a bunch of noise, stealing all the plates, and being a jerk without accomplishing much. It might feel pretty cool to move 1,000 pounds that much, but like you're not accomplishing anything, dude. So, if done correctly, it's a good mass builder. It's a good exercise, in my opinion. Not for everyone, but it works for me, even with my lower back issues. So actually straightens them out a little bit. When I do rack pulls, deadlifts, I'm pretty sore for a day or two, and then after that my back feels fantastic for like a whole week. So overcome through stimulation or whatever. But anyway, here we are. I'm gonna get in there, crush some back exercises. I'll see you guys. Man, I'm gonna be real honest with you guys. I really don't feel like doing this. So, what's the solution to that? The solution to that is just do it. Just get it done. I'm going to preemptively put on the chalk this time. Actually got the correct amount this time. Doesn't seem
I always get way too much chalk, and we are on the right ratio this time. That's cool. All right, so that's 2 sets of 8, and it should be pretty familiar, pretty easy territory. I am probably going to do a little bit of touch and go, a little bit of bouncing. So here we go. Screw it. Gosh darn it. All right, there's no way to do it but to do it. Let's just get it over with. I cut my knee up pretty bad on the last one, so it's just gonna get worse. Probably gonna be bleeding by the end of this, but hey, screw it. It's not even that heavy. It's what, 415? This is nothing. It's nothing. You're nothing. Nothing. Come on. Yep. Easier than the first set, honestly. All right, now we can do fun stuff. You know, it's funny, I actually don't feel like doing that row machine that I was all hyped up about. So I'm just gonna do just supported. And we're gonna do the 90s. 2 sets of 12. Let's get it done. I have chalk everywhere. I redact my previous statement, I still use too much. I do tell you what though. My lower back is pretty sauced, so that's the joy of the chest support, I guess. Here we go. Yeah, all right. Lovely. Woo. 12 more. Music's really, really loud here. It's one of the reasons I don't love this gym. You know, whatever. Sorry. Ugh. Woo. Okay. Gotta wipe off that bench. All right, 180. Maybe. We'll see. Huh? Both of them? Oh, everything's taken. You're screwed. All right. Okay. 2 sets of 20. We'll see. First set went exceptionally well, so we're just going to do the same thing again. Yeah. All right, I think it's shrugs next, but somebody's using that, so I might just have to give him a miss and go straight into the pull downs. Looking for 200 pounds underhand lat pull downs. Oh, here we go. I'm gonna get copyright strikes for the music. Larger than life. Here we go. All right. This is 12. That's pretty heavy. I'll hit this and then honestly just superset right into the pullovers. Here we go. Oh. Oh. Come on. Okay. Well, you know what? 10 is, or 11 is good enough. Almost 12. All right. I do 2 sets of 20 on leg extensions, and that sucks. Yeah, I think for leg extensions, like high rep and then like this, the hold at the end is key because you want to get that burn. Ooh, I got a new protein powder today for my post-workout. I'm kind of excited. It might not taste like ass because I've been using isolates and like the macros are great, but they all taste terrible. Oh my gosh. Ow. Okay. Whew. A little bit of back posing. Okay. Hello, hello. All right. Man, I smell terrible. All right. This is just neutral, chilling, relaxed. And then we can hit a little bit of flexing. Wingspan, baby. Just messing around here a little bit, but decent back pump. Our shoulders tomorrow. So I'll see you guys then.